Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sanjeev, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, and if you are a new subscriber, thank you so much for watching. So for today's video, I'm going to be making chocolate chip cookies for the upcoming Hindu celebration, which is Deepavali, and some people might call it Diwali, something. Anyway, let's get into the video. So I'm going to start off with the ingredients: flour, butter, chocolate bars, chocolate chips, sugar, 3 eggs, nuts, any kind of nut. Yeah, so let's start baking. The first step is to add your room temperature butter, which is, softened butter, into a big, clean, dry bowl. Now the thing is, I'm going to use this entire block because I'm making a big batch. But if you need like a small batch, just use like a third of the block. To make it easier to mix in, I would recommend cutting the butter into like small parts. Even though it is softened, it still helps to, I swear to God. Okay, you know what?
"2,000 years later."
Just smash it up, I guess. Anyway, it should look like this a little bit. So now you can add the eggs. Can you guys see? Okay, so now we can start mixing. Okay, so the next ingredient is 3/4 cups of sugar. After every small measurement cup of the sugar you put in, you must always remember to stir the sugar in so that it actually dissolves in the batter. Okay, so it should look like this, sort of. Next, we're gonna add the vanilla essence.
Three days later.
It's a bit stuck. Okay, just a capful is enough. I kind of just eyeball it, so if you want to add a lot, that's fine, but one thing that you should know is vanilla essence is actually bitter. So if you add too much, your batter might end up becoming too bitter. So yeah. Okay, so the wet batter is done, and now it's time for the dry ingredients. Now the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of flour. So I'm using self-raising flour, and if you guys want normal flour, that's fine too. I usually don't use baking powder or baking soda because I feel like, I don't know why, it's just, I feel like it kind of changes the cookie's taste and texture, and it makes it taste like you're eating toothpaste. Like it leaves a very powdery, dry feeling in your mouth, and I don't like that. So I just chose to not use it, and the cookies taste even better in my opinion. So the batter should look something like this. It's messy, I know, but if you keep stirring and if it's still liquid, just keep adding more flour until it becomes moldable, until it reaches like a clay-like texture, so that's when you know it's ready to be made into like the cookie shape that you want. Okay, now that we're done with the dough, finally, this is how the dough looks like, and it's pretty big. It just doesn't show much on camera, but yeah. So we can start adding in the chocolate chips and the chocolate bars now. If you like your treats less sweet, I'd recommend using dark chocolate instead, which is honestly, in my opinion, the one that tastes the best. But if you want a normal level of sweetness, then normal sweetened chocolate or milk chocolate is fine. Also, you must chop these small bars into like smaller cube pieces so that it actually gets incorporated into the chocolate itself. Also, because I'm making the cookies super small, so it's like, because it's mini chocolate chip cookies, so the chocolates need to be mini as well. Okay, so before I add the chocolates to the batter, what I like to do is basically flatten the batter in the bowl, and then make lines, like just small, a bit deep lines. You see what this does is, so basically in a crisscross manner, so what this does is it creates like pockets of space and air, so that when I drop the chocolates in, what happens is it basically makes the chocolates take up the space that I created earlier. So now I'll mix this in first. These are the milk chocolates. I think I should have cut these a bit smaller. Then next batch of chocolates, which is dark chocolates. I really should have cut this smaller. Okay, so now it's time for the big reveal. Okay, so this is how you know your batter is ready, when it looks like a giant chocolate chip cookie. Yeah, so that's how it's supposed to look like, the batter. Now the final step is to just use your hands and mold it together like you're playing with a big ball of Play-Doh or like just clay or something, just to give it like a good mixing or something like that. So I'm gonna try to use this. I feel like it's not gonna work because the chocolate bits are too big, but let's try it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the spoon as a mold for the chocolate cookie shape. So what I'm going to do is just mold it into the spoon and just flatten it against my hand, and then just shake it until it falls out. This could take a while because yeah, so that's how it looks like as an actual cookie. Now it won't be a perfect circle, so it's important to like, roll it into a circle. So this is how it would look like, not a very perfect sphere, which is perfect for a cookie shape. Before you roll out your dough balls, just line up your oven pan with baking paper, which is very important because I feel like it's a better and safer way to bake compared to using just buttering the pan straight up and then putting the dough on top, because it's highly likely that your batter is going to stick to the pan if you just butter your pan. The baking paper is much more efficient at baking your goods properly without making it stick to the pan. Yeah. So I'm gonna preheat the oven to about 100 degrees and keep the same temperature, and then I'm gonna put these in for about 15 minutes at 100 degrees Celsius, and they might be done. Also, I would space this out a little bit just for the heat to flow evenly, but yeah, there's so much more dough left, so it might be like a few hours before I get this done. Yeah, so I'll see you guys when the cookies are done.
One eternity later.
Hey guys, okay, so this are the final baked cookies finally. So as you can see, these is 3 batches of cookies. So like the first, second and third batch, meaning one batch is probably going to give you like this much cookies. And yeah, let's do a taste test, shall we? So they came out pretty small. If you want a bigger cookie, just make it bigger, and it look exactly like this, but maybe a bit more flatter. And now let's taste it. Delicious. Okay, so when you first take it out of the oven, what happens is the cookies will be soft, but after a while of putting it into a container, it will be hard. When you first take it out of the oven, it will be soft, but after putting it into a container, it will become hard after a while, but it's still munchable. It's just I would recommend eating this within like 10 days, I guess, a recommended period, but I'm not sure how long this will last because they never last anyway. Everyone eats them before I could tell when they go bad, but I would recommend eating it within like 10 days. So yeah. Anyway, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment the word cookies down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.